Everyone. So I just wanted to take just a couple of minutes to show you what my reading class looked like last year. So that way you can kind of get a feel of what the class looked like, how I set it up, and what worked best for my students. So in my reading class, I had a folder for family communications. So inside of this folder, I had my grading guidelines. I had about me. So I had a whole document about myself. I had our daily schedule in there so parents knew exactly what was happening each day and what special they had to go to and all the extracurriculars. And then I had this reading site that students loved and parents were asking me if they can do it at home. So I just added that in there. So I had a family communication to allow for parents when they log into their kids' Schoology account, they could see all of the information that they needed right in that family communications. The next folder that I had, not this digital learning folder. This digital learning folder was done when, of course, we had to go into that digital learning mode. And I laid this digital learning folder out by week. So students, I would unpublish everything. I started out by day, and then it just got to be too much. So I started laying it out by week. And inside of each of these weeks would be the activities that they had to complete. So they would have to do these in order. And I would also allow them to have a suggested schedule that our team created. So that would be inside of the folder as well for parents to see when they log into the kids' Schoology, and also for the students to be able to go off of based on what they had to get done for that week. So that's how I organize my digital learning folders. And this is how I'm going to organize my class this year, is the exact same way by week. And then I had a folder on my main page for all of our 9-week grading periods. So I had a first 9 weeks where inside of this first 9 weeks, I would have all of the learning objectives and the big standards we had to do at our big units. I would have it by unit, and then each side inside of all of these folders would be activities that students had to complete. The same thing for the second 9 weeks. I did it by unit as well. And this one is actually done by unit and by our learning objectives. So this was very, very personalized to each student, depending on what they needed. Then for the third 9 weeks, I did it by standard and also by unit as well. So inside of all of these would be just different activities that they had to do, different teacher videos, different things for the whole entire grade level that they had to do. And then I had a mid-check to see where they were at. And then I had their assessments in there as well. And then, of course, we didn't get to the fourth 9 weeks because that was the digital learning time. Then in Texas, we have a STAR test for our main test of the year to see where students are at. And so I had an entire folder for that assessment review. So inside of this folder was all of the weeks. We did 5 weeks of academic STAR review. And inside of each of those folders was all of their activities based on their pre-assessments that they took on Schoology. So based on that, they would have to go and complete all of the items in the folders that were assigned and individually aligned to them. Then I had a seasonal activities folder because a lot of my students, when they were finished, they didn't know what to do. So sometimes, like if it's October, I had some Halloween activities in there. I had for the first week activities, I had digital citizenship week. So just some fun things that students can do once they say, okay, I'm finished with everything else. Here's something you can go and do if there is a season with the activity. Then we had a spiral back folder. So starting in January, we wanted to spiral back on TEACHERS or on learning objectives that we've already taught. So this would just give a more of a review for those students that needed those folders based on their learning assessment that they took in October. And so based on those, we were able to individually assign, come up with the top 9 or 10 learning objectives that they needed. And inside of each of these folders would be some sort of activity, maybe a video that the teacher has recorded of herself doing text structure or any of the things that you want. And then there's just some fun games that we included as well, because we didn't take any grades from the spiral back. It was just a great way to see if the students were improving on that learning objective. Then I had a when finished folder for students. So when they finished, just like with the seasonal activities, when they finished all of their assignments from their checklist, they could go to this when finished folder and do all of these fun games. But they're not games, they're really they're games, but they're not games, they're learning games. So students would be able to complete those as well. And then we did book projects. So I had a folder for book projects, book club projects. So each club had a different folder inside of this folder that was personalized to their book. And then sometimes we would have a little bit of extra credit opportunities with like maybe 5 points extra credit that they were able to complete. So that is a rundown of my reading course from last year. And notice how some of these were gray. That means they were unpublished. So students did not see all of this stuff at once. It would be very overwhelming to them. I only published what needed to be published for that week or for that unit. I hope this helps you organize your reading course. Bye.